Hi, this is Colin, and today we're doing behind the scenes of Bioshock Plasmids. So the first shot we did was the commercial, and we thought it'd be really funny as if we're like ordering a pizza, but instead we're ordering Bioshock Plasmids, a really dangerous chemical. So what he just threw right there was actually the script for the video. The plasmid was actually created out of a naked bottle that we filled with some glowing liquid substance out of a glow stick. He also used other household items like a spoon. So we were pretty happy with how it turned out. We then printed out the actual main sheet and weathered it a little bit to give it that old feel to it. So what he's actually looking at right here is the script for the actual film. Not much to it, but we knew the audience couldn't see it or read it, so we weren't too worried. This scene right here, I wanted to actually add more visual effects, but I couldn't get my arm to track properly, so we were pretty happy with how it turned out. This video actually kind of spawned the rest of the videos because originally we weren't going to make a show that was all first person because I didn't like doing that at the time. But out of necessity, we ended up doing all first person because at the time all we had was just Taylor and I working on these videos. So every single person or voice that you hear is all just Taylor and I in the video. There's no one else helping us for anything, which is pretty cool. We really wanted a high production value, so we worked pretty hard on this video. We're pretty happy with it. This shot took about 78 takes before we got it right. I really wanted to get the audience to like this main character right off the bat. I feel like he finally pulled it off. Charismatic, a little overconfident, a little cocky, but still lovable, you know. So I think he did a pretty good job there. This visual effect was from video co-pilot Andrew Kramer. Right now we're seeing the blue screen shot right here. This stupid shot took about a month to get done because I have to keep retooling it and keep retooling it. You can actually see all kinds of mistakes in it. His tie disappears, his collar disappears. It was just a mess, honestly. It took forever. It was not properly lit. I mean, I did a poor job of lighting this blue screen. The jellyfish were stock footage I got, I believe from Pond 5. I just threw them back there, kind of added to it. The actual background skyline you're seeing is actually from Kansas City, Missouri. So it's not actually Rapture. So sorry to pop your bubble there. But yeah, it was okay. It didn't turn out exactly like I wanted, but I mean, I guess for my ability at the time, it was okay. This entire shot needed a fog machine. We ended up building a fog machine, but it ended up not working at all. So we ended up having to buy one and got one on Amazon for pretty cheap, and it's been pretty great. I've had it for a few years now since this video, and it's been really great. So all the shots from here on out have a little bit of fog in them just to kind of give it that Bioshock feel that's so typical of it. We really wanted to capture the Bioshock essence and look of it. I think the aesthetics were the biggest part of the game, at least to me, and I really wanted to kind of honor that and show that off. So this character right here that you're hearing is actually Taylor again, just distorting his voice using some filters. His hand right there was actually on fire using alcohol and some matches. So he actually burned himself a few times trying to get that shot right. Every time we whip pan, you'll see it's actually a different cut. But we use a sparkler here actually we bought, and that turned out pretty good. We were pretty happy with that. It looked like a welder or something, you know, trying to break through the door. Right here, he jumps in. You see that mask, which we're really happy with. And one of my good friends, Megan, actually made it for us. And she worked really hard on it, and we were really thrilled with how it looked. But we ended up only using it for less than 5 seconds. So I guess that's the way things are sometimes. But Taylor couldn't see a damn thing out of that mask. He was completely blind, and the mask kept falling off his head, and he had to step up to get into the door, so he couldn't really kick it in. It took a few takes to get this right, but we finally got it. He was a real champ about it. So this shot right here, right when it flashes right now, what we actually ended up doing, since we only had just Taylor and I filming, what we did was we just stuffed his old costume from the splicer with a pillow and made it look like a body was still there, and then just pan up to Taylor in a new shot basically. So that's actually how we accomplished that. So just a little bit of movie magic there. This shot people always get excited about because of the Big Daddy, but sorry to disappoint you, but all we did was took a big thing of aluminum for holding like a turkey or something, and we just kind of rounded it out and then cut out little holes, as you can see in this picture. So nothing too special there. Just put a light behind it. Fog machine, Big Daddy. Pretty cool. We were pretty happy with that. This shot was probably one of the coolest and most fun for me to edit actually, because what we did was, let's go ahead and rewind that. What we did was here was we put the camera on a tripod and just locked it down. Had me standing in the background working on a body as a doctor or something. And we had Taylor in the foreground, and he lights his hand on fire. All visual effects, of course. And then right here, this fire that starts like kind of creeping up on the floor was actually real. And what we did was we actually shot it completely dark. I'm going to pull that up here. So it was completely dark, and we shot it, and then we basically overlaid it with the real footage. So that's really honestly there, and you can see that it actually hits some of the wood on the right. We accidentally left the glue gun right there. You can see I should have removed it digitally, but I was too lazy. The way we got me to catch fire back there was by just filming once again a fire stock footage. Basically we went outside and caught some clothes on fire and then ran off with it to the right. And we were actually pretty happy with how it turned out. I had just got a new camera, a Black Magic, and so the color was much deeper, you can see, and more vibrant versus that fire on the floor. So I think it turned out pretty good. I probably could add a little more fire effects around, but you know, whatever. Once again, we're using a sparkler and a hose that's dripping. So actually they drip all over the camera, but that was visual effects for the water and the lens. So it wasn't that wet. This shot's really shaky because I'm having to grab a light and turn it on right here, 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 here. So what we did was basically I had to like do everything at this point while filming. So what I wanted to do was have a light come on as if the Big Daddy had spotted us like in the game. And so it was kind of hard to like grab the camera with one hand and the other try and turn the light on. This drill took Taylor about, I think about a week to make, and it's pretty cool because he actually found an online YouTube video about it, and it was only in the shot for, I think it's less than a second, so we just filmed it on a green screen,
Right, stop.
splattered some blood on it, and then put it on a drill, and then just, shot it for a few minutes until we got what we needed, and then just composited on. The little sister voice you just heard was actually Taylor once again, acting like a little girl and just changing his voice with Audacity. So pretty cool. So we wanted to kind of give a happy ending because it ended so, dark. And every video we always do, we always want to end up on a happy or funny or silly, ending, kind of a joke, I guess. I guess like every video can probably comprise of it, like an elaborate joke with a punchline. We were pretty happy with it. That popcorn we actually did throw, and I was finding it for months afterwards. I thought I swept it all up, and then you find a few more kernels here and there every couple of days. That was pretty fun. So overall, it was pretty fun. It took us about 2 months. We were pretty happy with it. The production value was pretty high compared to the other videos, just because we really wanted to get our first official video out, even though it wasn't the first. There were a few other videos we made, but we actually never ended up exporting them or putting them online, rather, because we just weren't happy with how they turned out. It wasn't, we didn't think it was that funny. The audio was off, whatever. So we might end up putting those on later just to show kind of where we came from and where we're going. So hopefully that was a good overview of the Bioshock Plasmids video. Hopefully I covered everything that people had questions about, or, maybe filled in some behind the scenes that people were unsure about, or just some little Easter eggs here and there that only Taylor and I would know about. Overall, it was really fun. And unfortunately, Taylor couldn't be here to do this behind the scenes because he ended up actually moving away for college, so he had to drop out of 4Gs. But I really appreciate all his hard work on this, and I'm sure, you know, if he was here, he'd have more insight to kind of what behind the scenes of the props, because he actually was one of the main prop makers for it. So, all right, yeah, that's the behind the scenes for this video. Thanks for watching, guys.